Look, fuck this guy. That's all I can say about Trump. I mean, he's embarrassing for my country, but those idiots elected him. I would rather have the Democrats attack crypto than have to deal with this moron and what he's doing to our reputation around the world. Now, there are some things that are good that he's going to do, but mostly what he's doing is bad. And like things like this, calling himself king, um, and bending over to Russia. What the fuck is that? You know, it's just bizarre to see. You know, we are now on the side of the commies, the Russians. They're weak, poor, and stupid, as well as evil people, and we voted with them. I mean, it's kind of pathetic, and they're not worth the time. But the MAGA nuts, they'll get abused. They're probably going to have their Medicare and their prices increased because they're going to give tax cuts to the billionaires. But fuck this guy. That's all I can say. And fuck Elon too. And I hope he gets his dual citizenship for Canada revoked because he just said they're not a real country. But what's important is that security guarantees for Ukraine happen next week. And we'll see what happens. He's supposed to come to Washington and sign the deal for the mineral rights, which would be great, for us. But we'll see. If it pisses off the Russians, good. That's all I could say. And other than that, I'm getting pissed at these gaslighting by the Senator Loomis. Every one of these have failed. Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota. It's just, what the F? We need to see these get passed and stop her going over saying this BS every time, gaslighting us. Screw her. We want to see them passed, or else there's nothing there and they're just gaslighting us, and that's going to piss me off. But even with that, Bitcoin is being bought up by the institutions. I see it in the tape. They're pressing prices down. They can do that. But to liquidate and to get the individuals to sell to them so they can get their, inventory, basically. And, the Bybit hackers going over and converting the funds to Bitcoin, of course, they're buying what's the best. I mean, this is just a delayed reaction to us actually getting the downward price movement from Friday. And, I pointed that out after the Bybit hack, the geopolitical BS, 86K, and boom, it hit. And you'll see the trades that I made on it. I took short hedges, and I've traded it several times. I've done pretty well. It's just like price suppression. It's easy to see by BlackRock. And what can you do? It's positive and negative at the same time. It's kind of interesting. But they need to get their Bitcoin. So it's understandable, but it's price suppression. What are you going to do? You got to trade it. And I traded it, as you'll see in this video. And mostly everything is positive. They're accumulating. That's it. They're accumulating, okay? They're buying. So you buy with them. And I've traded so many times, I'm tired. But you'll see some of the trades, recent ones now. And I hope you enjoy it. And anyway, here you go. And enjoy the video. Update you. Today is expiry on some of these contracts that they have for Bitcoin. So we're probably going to get a drop. So on the spike up that we had from this morning before the market opened, I took a short hedge of 25% of my Bitcoin. And the reason I did that at around 99,100. And the reason I did that is because I'm expecting us to get, for the weekend, to get a decent drop. And we'll see what happens. But the main reason is geopolitical. Because of Trump's absolute stupidity, he's caused there to be risk in the marketplace. And I don't think this is going to end well for him. So I'm looking for us to trade all the way back down to 86K around before I would cover this hedge. And I got too much writing on it, and I got in at pretty good levels from 94 all the way down to 92, which is right here in this area, this blue line here. And the next line below would be the 86K area, the mid 86K. So yeah, I'm just going to go over and protect myself. And, you know, I want to be bullish, but when you see Trump attacking all these different countries and his allies, and everybody is roasting him. I mean, it's across, and he called himself king. He's just done all kinds of things to piss off his own people, the people that voted for him. Not me. I didn't vote for him. I don't like the guy. I think he's an idiot, and he's proving me right, unfortunately. And but his own people are starting to see that he's nothing but a problem. You can't call yourself king in this country, and you can't go over and attack Ukraine. I'm sorry, and calling their leader a dictator when he was elected, and saying that they should have just surrendered and all kinds of crap, and saying that the war was his fault. Come on, I mean, the guy is just an effing moron, and he's going to upset the majority of people, not only on the Democratic side, but on the Republican side, and that's just bad news. And so, because of that, I took the short hedge here, and also because of expiry, we have the expiration of these futures contracts, and you know, every time I've seen it in the past, we've always gotten a drop. It'll probably come back, but I don't even care about that. I care about the fact that this could be the starting point for the bigger drop, and also the geopolitical, with Trump being a dumbass, is put risk into the marketplace. So I would look for a move all the way down to this 86K. And I hate to say that because I'm a pro Bitcoin, you know, bull, and I have no choice. So yeah, and I've also short hedged 25% of my Ethereum when it was above the 2800 range and 2830s or something like that. And so I got a quarter I taken out of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and yeah, I hate to do it, but I had to. It's just too obvious, and we'll see if things settle down. But I don't feel very good about what's going on, and I think the stock market's probably going to get smoked too. And yeah, it's just ugly times. That's all I can say. Ugly times. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. I'm back, and I just had another trade clear. I traded right from here. It went right up to the 89,300 level, and I took it short, and it stayed right there, and it held it as resistance, and then retested down here. Now, why was the case? Here, let me show you on a chart that's a little bit longer range, you can say. You see the volume right here on the first low? That is very important. The volume right here is much higher. This low that we have right here is much lower, so it doesn't have as much participation, and that's what you're basically looking for. So I'm looking for this range to hold. If it doesn't, what can you do? You know, that's life. But this right here is the main support zone I was looking for, and 86K is the median average, I would say, around, and it goes all the way down to the low 85,100 area. But definitely, this was a good exit on the first trade. On Coinbase, it went to like 85,800, and on other exchanges, it was actually higher. So the Coinbase axe is showing his ability to push the prices down, and it's definitely suppression. I'm not going to lie. It's BlackRock trying to get lower prices and freak everybody out of the market, and that's fine. I'll take the trades. All right. So anyway, we had the retest right here, and where do we go from here? Well, we don't want to break this zone, but that's up to the bigger money. That's not up to me. Right now, I see the trade as it is, right from here to there. That's already done, and it was a good trade. And yeah, the high on there was 89,420. So I got in at the 89,300 range, and that was perfect. And it held as resistance, and yeah, I traded it again down to here. And I don't mind because I'm hedging what I already own, as you know. So that's just another hedge. And I've exited this position. And those two trades were done. The hedge short from up here. And I did the same thing on Ethereum. A little more on Ethereum. I did like 30 something percent because the fear in Ethereum is higher, but it didn't go down as much as I was expecting it to. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would get to the 200 mark, and it really didn't. It stayed in the 300 range on that big move down. So I exited there when I exited Bitcoin, and yeah. And now it's not retesting too much right here. So, I'm not going to hold on to this second short that I had. I'm going to put the lines on there. I'm just going to go over an exit here, matter of fact, because we are at a support point on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's the leader. This chart right here is just very unstable, and I'm not really worried about these down moves at all. I'm just taking advantage of the Black Rocks or whoever are pushing prices down. And they're trying really hard to get prices lower. They want to create caverns and liquidations so they can get supply for their institutional clients. And I understand that. How far they can push it down? Unknown. But whatever, doesn't matter. All right, so that's basically it on Bitcoin. It had a retest of this down here, and went up to here, and I would expect it to at some point get all the way back up to the 92K range up here, and they're going to bounce it around. It's going to go from here to there, back down to here, and we'll see. But right now you have this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 appeared on the chart. But do note they are buyers. I mean, they're just pressing it down and taking advantage of the stupid people. All right, so I was asked about a few different issues, and we're going to start with some of the altcoins because I know a lot of people are curious. And here we have SUI, and SUI had a giant pullback. Let's go to longer range charts. You've seen where now I made great profits on these, and I exited. I did very well. I'm not going to complain. You know where I was originally a buyer, all the way down to here, under 50 cents. So when it ran all the way up to the 390s and $4 and above, I mean, what are you going to say? But where do we go from here? There's a chance that we can get all the way down to here. Then it would complete that pattern that's right there. That's its possible trajectory. It might hold. If it holds this line here, it's going to have to retest this at some point, that 238. Even if that's a phantom spike, that's what I would look for it to do. It would have to get to and under this point, and possibly all the way down to here. Now on the SUI, the other one I was asked about, TST, I really don't like this chart. I don't know why you're having me look at it. Um, and let me know if this is the right one, but there's nothing there. There's nothing for me to really comment on. It does not have what I would call good volume. I don't even think that's correct, but let me know if that's the correct chart. That's the only one I could find that uh, made any sense. Don't like that chart at all. Don't know anything about it. Uh, Tau, I knew about that, of course. That's one from the past, a long time ago. And let's go back. Let's see. Not very interesting. Another chart that I would just basically ignore. Um, don't find anything interesting. SUI, of course I'm going to find it interesting. That's has a lot of interest in it. This, no interest in that as well. And Litecoin, Litecoin is actually kind of a very positive chart. And let's go to a weekly on it. I remember trading this so many times in the past, but I kind of got away from it because it became boring and I didn't see anything of interest. It ran up to it's this point right here, this 133, and held as resistance. If it can break past there, the only thing above it has is that 233. So you have a possibility for numbers that go all the way up to here. And I would hold that as being very likely to occur in the future. And this is positive volume. Breakout above this 114 level. So that looks kind of good. It looks like it's breaking out to the upside. Of all the charts out there, this is one of the most positive that I've seen. And if you examine the volume, that goes along with it. So it looks like it's been accumulated, honestly. And I guess that makes sense. It had a real narrow range. I remember back in the day when I was buying it, when I had that downturn in the 88.6, you know, and it ran all the way back up to here to the 104. And it was a good double, but other than that, it was kind of, like blah. Nothing really super interesting. You know all about my exits on the altcoins, and from here I'm just basically going to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum like I was doing with those trades. It's just not. I saw there's too much risk with the big moves that we had up, and we had big move down now. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the market for you. Trump is just causing all kinds of chaos, and people are starting to feel like they got gaslit by them. So they have to produce something. I mean, the honeymoon period was very fast. So kind of insane, really, but very interesting. So far, I'm enjoying the trading ranges just with Bitcoin and Ethereum that I'm getting because of the bigger money has made it so easy for me to see. The setup from Friday was just so obvious with the crypto hack from Bybit and the Trump geopolitical bullshit and the gaslighting by Senator Loomis. Yeah, it's not pretty out there, but hey, what I'm looking for from here, I already told you, is that, let's see, that we go down to this range and then we get back up to here, back to the 92. That has to be retested. Now, does it not break this range and keep going down? If it does, where do we go from here? All right, well, that would not be pretty. And the next range that goes down from here, if it's able to break this zone, which I don't think it really can. I mean, remember, this is pretty strong support. These zones here, this is pretty strong. If it's able to break under here and keep going lower, the next supports down is going to be in the mid 70K range, which is kind of ugly. If that's what BlackRock and those guys want to do, they could take it all the way back to the breakout level, which is in the 68K, 69, that whole area right here. That would be really ugly if they did that, if they were able to. I don't think they're going to be able to. Short term, it's very oversold. I could see them doing the retest, the 1, 2, 3 that I showed you right here. That just made such good sense. But can they go much beyond that? I have my doubts on that. There are too many buyers, and they did a good job of pressing the prices down and liquidating all the emotional people. But it's just a trade to me. I don't mind because I've been so big into it, so I'm like, whatever. Let them jerk the prices around. No big deal. It's being accumulated, like I said. I hope that helps with this video and the pairs that I was asked about. Sorry if you don't like the answers I gave. The only one that was interesting is Litecoin. And SUI in the future, it's kind of dark right now. But if it does go over and break it back upwards, I could see it getting back to the 344 level up here. But we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.